Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Jamie Wozni here. I am a light activation guide and mentor, and I'm here helping other divine souls, gifted souls, sensitive souls who are ready to be heard, seen, and shine, activate their authentic magnificence out into the world. So, if that sounds like you, thank you so much for joining me here. This morning, I'm here at 11 a.m. Pacific, most every Wednesday. So, today, what we are going to talk about, just going to pull up my notes here, is short and sweet. I wanted to give you three tools when you are feeling afraid, helpless, or in despair that can serve you in coming out of this state. I know for me personally, um, I have experienced these feelings, and then I get into these loops of, or I would get into these loops of, oh my God, I'm not okay. I'll never be okay. And then you trigger your, sympathetic nervous system and you spiral and you're just absolutely terrified. So, what happens here is biologically and neurologically, we create these loops in our brain, and it's not our fault, but the chemicals in our body are just, looping. We're scared, more chemicals fire. Oh my God, there's a problem. And then it feels like there's more of a problem. And then the physical symptoms flare up. So if you're experiencing that emergency feeling with your finances, with your health, with your relationship, I said three ways, and I'm going to give a pre thing for this breath. Okay, so breath is the first way. It's challenging when everything's going fast or sped up, or you're in the other side of your nervous system and you're feeling very low and defeated and depressed, whatever it might be. Know that all of this is okay, right? It's a biological protective response, but we want to put our hands on our heart and our belly and take 10 deep breaths. This slows us down, starts to calm the fight or flight response, and moves us into our right thinking mind. So I'm going to ask that as I explain these three tools to pull you out of these states, excuse me, take deep breaths into the belly, into the chest, and let it go. Okay, so the first tool when you're in helplessness, fear, or despair, or any cousins of these emotions, is to literally say to your body. So I put my hand on my body and feel into the truth of this. Body, this is not a life sentence. Our mind is going to think this is never going to end. I've had this a million times in my life. We just say, body, nope, this isn't a life sentence. And we say it with compassion and love, not get out, this isn't a life sentence. We're not trying to control the situation. We're trying to nurture the one who's afraid and remind them of the truth that everything is temporary, everything is transient. We are in a grid, a quantum field of infinite possibilities in every moment. It's really hard to see them when we're carrying trauma, and we can go do whatever healing we need to do. But just to pull us out of that initial thing of the mind saying, this is forever, I'm not okay. When we say, body, this isn't a life sentence. What we're saying is, no, this isn't forever. Yes, it feels like it. Yes, we've been enduring this for years. Yes, we may always end up back here. But we are one thought away from a solution popping into our mind. So it could also, we say to our body, a thought that's a little softer could be, body, what if this isn't a life sentence? We can always say what if, because then it's like, because the ego, I know, I've been here. The ego could push back immediately and say, well, it is a life sentence. You've dealt with this for blah, blah, blah years. Well, what if it isn't, body? Your body starts to relax. Notice how you feel when you say, body, what if my financial issue or my relationship issue or my health issue isn't a life sentence? We don't have to answer it. We just stay open, and that can start to just relax the nervous system, lower cortisol levels just enough. Okay. So, body, this isn't a life sentence, or body, what if this isn't a life sentence? Okay, number one. Number two, and this one was huge for me because my body would say to me, because when our bodies are experiencing proof of what we believe, we have evidence everywhere, and we live in that reality. And it's insane to pull out of it because we're like, well, this is just the fortress I have built for myself. So, for example, we say to ourselves, okay, when have I experienced something challenging in my life and I have overcome it? So, I used to experience when I was little chronic urinary tract infections, bladder issues. And that was a big deal. And there were many years that I had experienced this, and there was a lot of pain. And my mind was in the, oh my God, I'm not okay, hysterical crying, I'm unsafe. I need something to come fucking save me in this second because I'm not okay. So I know you know that feeling. If you're watching this, I'm just sharing that feeling. And what I needed to do was just keep breathing, which I'm hoping you're still doing, deep breaths into the belly. And after I said, body, what if this isn't a life sentence? And I just felt into the truth and settling of that. When have I overcome something that was challenging? And again, your mind might give you 1,000 reasons you haven't and things that are still here, but you look and you go, was there one? Was there something that was insane, that was really hard, that when I was in it, I was just like, I'm not okay. Never going to overcome this. I'm never going to get past this. Has there been an example? I really invite you to go through this practice when this video is over. Take yourself through these 10 deep breaths, and then take yourself through these 3 steps. So what you do is then you start to notice, oh, okay, I overcame that bladder issue. Now, when you notice what it was that you overcame, whatever it might be, oh, I used to be this and I'm not anymore. In whatever area of your life, maybe it doesn't even correlate to health, but my issue was scared of health. So looking in that area, I was like, oh, okay. How does that make me feel in my body? So that's the next step. When have I overcome something in my life? And when I'm aware of the thing that I've overcome, how does that feel in my body? So my body starts to settle a little. I sigh. I feel a little bit more spacious inside. There's a relaxation of muscles. This is called somatic work, because what happens is we can tell ourselves we're okay, we're okay, we're okay, we're not in despair, we have people, but our body needs to actually feel safe. And so when we become aware of, oh, there was this time, the me aware that there was a time I overcame something, how does that, the awareness that I can overcome, feel in my body? There's a relief. There's a, oh, there is hope for me. Oh, there is support. Oh, I can overcome things. So we're not looking right at the thing we're terrified of. It's just the fact that I can overcome things. We don't need to force this and manipulate this present moment, but that will settle the nervous system and settle the body, which then as we get calm, we can start to open to solutions from a calm place. So whatever it is that you might need to do to heal the issue, because again, we get into these sped up moments and we're just like, I don't know what to do. And then we're making decisions from that place and it's leading to more fear. But when we go through these steps, just to pull ourselves out of it a little bit, and we pull ourselves out of not meaning I have to be in resistance to this. That's where the breath comes in is, okay, I'm here. There is something that needs to change. But I'm going to go through these steps to help it soften and open up to my solution. Okay, so number 3. So, number 1, I'm going to repeat them. Body, this isn't a life sentence. Just breathing and telling your body that. Or, body, what if this thing I'm going through that I feel stuck in, that's causing me despair or fear or helplessness, isn't a life sentence? Just we're proposing the question to the body. And when I think about the possibility of it not being, how does that feel in my body? Can I notice the sensations? That's sending signals to the brain. I'm okay. Number 2, when have I overcome hard things in my life? And when I'm aware of the fact that I can overcome hard things, or maybe one hard thing, how does that feel in my body? Can I notice the sensations? You'll start to notice this will bring a calm. Okay. And then the third one, this was something that I got from a somatic healer friend of mine. Notice small ways because we feel really unsupported when we're in that place of despair. Notice small ways, maybe even one way that you are supported right now. Maybe it's one friend, maybe it's the YouTube. Okay, I could watch infinite videos on my topic. Maybe it's the fact that the sun is out today and the sun warms you. You feel supported by the earth. Maybe you feel supported when I was doing this exercise, just the fact that I had a couch under me and that I had friends checking on me or whatever it might be for you, right? That there's oxygen, I remember in that moment, I saw a tree outside and I was like, there's this beautiful oxygen here for me. So it might be too far of a stretch to be like, I'm supported. And not because we're like, you're not goddamn supported. I feel like shit. But that's just the mind. And when we look for proof of the ways and we say, okay, the fact that I can see this support in my life, how does that feel in my body? This stuff isn't going to take you immediately from boom to peace, and maybe it will. So I'm a big fan of miracles, but what we're looking is just to go from that highly triggered, dysregulated state to can I just start to open my mind to something else? Maybe there is support here for me. Maybe I have overcome things. Maybe this isn't a life sentence. So we're just softening from that rigid fear. We're noticing it in the body, helping us just to pull ourselves out of it. Now, what happened for me was I still was enduring the physical pain with what I was going through. But going through this brought me such a sense of inner peace. Eventually, after showing up doing this a few times when I was triggered, that from that place, I knew exactly for me, it was two different healers I needed to call to take these two steps. It was like, oh, okay, this is the support that I need to help me with what's going on in my body. When we're spinning in those patterns, we can't see it. So I'm hoping that these three ways, with the additional bonus tip of just breathing 10 deep breaths into the belly, cleansing and releasing, serve you and helping to pull you out of fear, despair, and helplessness. And again, when we say pull you out of, it's nurturing you into that state. We don't want to be in resistance to it because it's not a bad state. It's a biological state that's there because it's perceiving threat. And so at the end of the day, it's not there to harm you, it's there to keep you safe. But we just kind of want to show it, okay, maybe there is another way. And for me, this brought me great peace and great relief. So I hope it brings you great peace and great relief too. So I'm going to say one more reminder in case you haven't written it down. Body, this isn't a life sentence, or what if this isn't a life sentence? Feel somatically with sensations of how that phrase feels in your body. Body, when have I overcome a hard thing in my life? Let's really open our minds to something. And me realizing that, oh, I can overcome something. Stuckness isn't my life sentence. How does that feel in my body? Sensations, warm, expansive, settling. And number three, notice small ways that you're supported in your life. And when you're aware of those, how does that feel in your body? Noticing the sensations and breathing through it. Let me know how this was for you. If you enjoyed this, you can find out more about me on my website, jamiewosny.com. I have lots of goodies over there. And I just launched a brand new mini self-love series. I know when I didn't have that sense of self and that self-honoring and that self-safety, and these patterns triggered a lot for me. And so I created a little mini 3 video along with exercises and meditations series for you. And so you can find that and all of my services over at jamiewosny.com/services. But if you enjoyed this video, that would definitely serve you in a wonderful next step of going further to feel safer inside of yourself. So I'm sending you all lots of love. Comment, ask questions, whatever you need. And hopefully I will see you next Monday, 11 a.m. Pacific. Lots of love. Bye.